Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Basics of Life. My name's Ken Burkey, and sitting next to me with just a beautiful. Are they called blouses these days, or shirts,
Yeah,
or what
know.
do you call that?
It's a shirt.
This is Ginger Jacob. She's in the house, our community care director, and those are elephants if you can't see, but very African, very.
I know. I like it.
it.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So how are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. Very good.
Good.
Very good. Hey, we're going to talk about something that I don't know if we've talked about on here.
I haven't talked about it with you, so I'm excited about this.
Yeah, we want to talk about the Hope House, which is a transitional home for women that our community's involved in, Green
Yes.
Valley's involved in, you're definitely involved in. So let's talk about why this house exists and why it's important.
Absolutely. It's really, it's one of a kind. It's the only one of its kind in Dorado County, and it serves single women and their children who are either homeless or on the verge of becoming homeless, that are usually recovering from a drug or alcohol problem and just need a place to stay, a program to work where they can get back on their feet and be independent and healthy again. So we saw a need several years ago. Hope House was started 8 years ago, or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
In fact, you know about that.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell about how that actually started?
Well, I think it was just a segment of the population that was being underserved. And Jim Copeland, who was involved with Habitat for Humanity, involved in a lot of different things, and a real estate gentleman.
Right.
He and I had talked about it one time, and he knew of a house that was a potential house for something like a Hope House. Now,
Right.
what Hope House is today, we had no idea.
No.
We just knew there was a vulnerable population of women, and
Right.
with children, if they become homeless, that's just a really bad situation.
Bad situation.
So that's how it started, homeless women with children. But then what we've learned is why they're homeless, or why they're on the brink of being homeless, is a lot is life skill issues
Absolutely.
that Hope House deals with. So I want to talk about that, because that's huge.
Yeah, that's what we found. Is we were seeing all these women coming into Green Valley who were lacking basic life skills, who were recovering from an addiction, that literally just didn't know how to navigate life and no place to go. And that's why they were like that. They were raised in families or lack of families, where they had no support, no role models to follow. And they ended up making bad choices, and then all of a sudden here they are, and they have children, and they're literally sleeping in their cars or on the streets and don't know what to do. So
Yeah, like you said, a lot of it is generational.
Yep, it's generational.
And so if you don't break that cycle, then these young kids, they are going to repeat that cycle.
Right, and that's why we developed Hope House, and we've been doing this for 9 years, and it's grown, and we've learned and made adjustments to the program. But it is a program. It's not just a shelter. That's what differentiates it from a lot of shelters that are out there, is that it absolutely is. There's steps. There's all kinds of structure. They live in a communal setting, and they're each assigned a mentor, and we work with them on their life skills and getting them connected to resources in the community. It's just a very in-depth program for 12 to 18 months. So that, which as I said, we've adjusted over time, but that will help them hopefully at the end be able to be independent and on their own, reunited with their kids.
Yeah. So talk just about some of those specific
Right.
life skills. What are some of the biggest needs?
Well, what we found, there's several, but one of them, I'll speak to a few, but one of them is financial. They come to us usually in debt. They have absolutely no idea how to manage a budget. Again, along with generational poverty and generational homelessness comes the being used to being raised on aid and not knowing how to navigate and actually have a job and manage your money. And so we assign a licensed financial advisor to meet with each one of our Hope House moms and help them put together a budget, really look at, and I was talking with him, and he was telling me that everyone he's met with has never, ever done that.
Wow.
They've never sat down and said, oh, this is the income that's coming in. This is how many rock stars I'm buying. This is how much money I'm spending my food on. And, oh, what's at the end of the month? Right. So it's developing a budget and then also living within that budget and making adjustments. So financial is huge.
Before you go on, what's great about this, and I think this is an important lesson for all of us, it's easy to tell people they need to be different or change, but we don't usually give them the tools.
No, tools are
change.
really important. I think that's what Hope House does.
Right.
It really offers tools.
Right, because right there, it's you can tell someone, hey, you should use, manage your money better. You should get your act together. But if they don't have tools,
right.
they don't know what to do.
Absolutely.
And so that's awesome.
It's very, very helpful, and then they continue to meet with this financial advisor so that it's an ongoing, just like the program. There's every month they sit down and they bring back in their budget and they say and they go over it. Oh, how'd you do here? Oh my gosh, I learned about this, and so it's really great. And they start to save money so that when they leave our program, they're able to hopefully secure an apartment with the money they've saved while they've been with us.
But it sounds like even if you don't live in the Hope House, you need to do what these ladies are doing. So this is just good wisdom.
Absolutely.
Save money and budget and all those kind of things.
Right.
So that's a huge one. And again, tools are the key to this. So talk about some other life skills that you're teaching.
Another thing it's actually new in Hope House within the last year is health and wellness. And that's another thing that's very generational. When you live on food stamps or low income, you tend to shop at convenience stores and things that are cheap and easy for you to get. And unfortunately, America has made that very readily available for everyone. And so we have someone that's very passionate about that, that is involved with the Hope House, who is meeting with all of them and literally taking them shopping, showing them what is healthy to buy and what is not, and really trying to change the purchases that they make so that they'll be on a healthy pattern, because what happens with them also is then carried on when they're children.
Right.
And so we're really trying to improve their health. And that's a really important thing to do.
I was thinking too, the messiest part of this is just relationships.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people get into these situations without a lot of relational skills. And then you're putting 5 women into a home with kids.
Right.
So it's kind of an incubator for challenges, but also for learning how to navigate just relational. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, and that's why it takes so many people to help with this.
Yeah.
So Hope House has one person that's on paid staff, and that's the director, is a paid person. The rest of them are all volunteers, and there's so many different giftings that we need in order to make this house work. So there's a lot of people that are involved that have different skills that are coming in and investing in these women and bringing to the table their educational experience, their nursing experience, their health passion, whatever it is that they have, their financial expertise. Recovery is another part. We have a lot of women coming to us. Almost all of them come from some sort of addiction. We are not a recovery house, but they come from that. But all of that, all those things we teach them, all these skills, has to start with relationships. So you have to invest in them and get to know them before you can tell them what they should be doing. So absolutely, that's a key component.
What is the average stay of a woman at Hope House?
Our program is 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
And like anything, everyone comes to us in a different situation. So some women really need to stay the entire 18 months and sometimes even a little bit longer, and some leave us earlier.
Right.
That they just need a place, they just need some tools. Maybe they need help getting a job, and they need to finish their education, and they need to save a little bit of money, but they're not as complicated as far as the number of things they're working on.
Right.
And then we have women that come to us who have lost their children. We have a resident right now who came to us with 2 of her 4 children, and that's one of the things we're very passionate about, is trying to reunite families. And now she has all 4 of her children with her, which is a beautiful thing to see, because these children have been removed because of poor choices that she had made, which is very common in the women we see in Hope House. And so, but we've worked really hard to have a good relationship with the court system, and we work closely with CPS, and so they're happy to help us, when we can, reunite families.
Talk about the court system and the support of that.
Oh, it's just amazing, because over the last 9 years, we go, first of all, everyone that comes to us has something that they're dealing with that requires them to go to court. Many of them have a record and have a misdemeanor or even a felony, or they've got debts that they have to pay off. There's all kinds of things going on. There's custody battles.
Right.
And so we have a representative that goes with every single mom to court when they appear. And in this particular court we have in Dorado County, we have gained a great reputation and great favor in the courts, because they see us as help for the women, and that doesn't happen in a lot of cases. So when you go to a court appearance, oftentimes there's lots of people there, and that are being seen that day, and yet our Hope House moms are the ones that come with people around them, showing the support, and the judges love us.
Wow.
And so we are oftentimes given great favor.
Well, and again, that's like all of us. Everybody does much better in community.
Absolutely.
And so that's what you're, like you said, you're creating relationships and community and life skills. It's got to be heartbreaking sometimes too, though, just because.
Yeah, and it doesn't always work out, you know, just the way we think. But I think the biggest thing when it doesn't is they're just not ready yet.
Yeah.
We have so many more applicants than we accept because we try and weed out people that aren't ready for the program because, again, it is a program.
They've got to be committed to it.
They've got to be committed. They have to work the steps. It's very much like a recovery program, a 12-step program where you're held accountable. There are things you're working on. There's action items. You meet with a group. We call it the Ethics Advisory Committee every single month, and they say these are the things you need to be working on. And when you come back the next month with your mentor, who always comes with you and helps you in between to try and work through those things, you need to have worked on those things. And it's hard. Because, Ken, a lot of this is ingrained behavior. They have never done this, you know, and so it takes time. And some people just can't do it, or they're just not ready. And like I said, we're not a recovery house, but we work very closely with Progress House, and a lot of people come to us who have completed their recovery program there, and sometimes they're just not ready, and they just need more time in a program like that.
Yeah. So. High grace, high love, high accountability. It's all kind of combined into that.
Absolutely.
So talk about also just the volunteers, because in the different ways people volunteer.
It's amazing. All our facilitators, we have facilitators that are trained in parenting and in Bible studies and recovery, again, budgeting, all the things, basic how to keep house.
Right.
You know, all the things that you might not think you need to go to that class.
That one, yeah. That'd be.
But they are all volunteers, and they come into the house at different times during the week and meet with the women, and it's phenomenal. We couldn't do it without them. And then in addition to that, we have we partner with Hands for Hope, which is a phenomenal organization in our community that empowers young people to give back. They come in and they provide. They're called our child care heroes, and they come in and watch the kids and invest in the kids while we're meeting with the moms. Because of course you can't meet with a mom when her 2-year-old is clinging to her leg crying. Right. So there's that, which is, and that's all volunteers. You know, it's just a constant, volunteers, as well as the maintenance of the house. Yeah. We were just able, through our Taking It to the Streets outreach in the spring, we were able to repaint the outside of the house, which was beautiful to see. So all volunteer driven.
So in Hope House was birthed out of Green Valley, but it's its own entity now.
Right. Well, we realized soon after we formed Hope House that it was bigger than Green Valley, and that it was a crime to keep it just for Green Valley to know about it.
Right.
So we really wanted people in our community to have the opportunity to get involved, and a lot of the people that volunteer at the Hope House are from the community.
Right.
And so we've formed a separate 501, as you call it, C3PO, but it's really a 501c3, which is a nonprofit organization that allows it to stand alone. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely founded by Green Valley, and Green Valley is very much still involved, but we've made it bigger so that more people can know about it.
Yeah, and it's stronger
just
because, again, it's community, and boy, we'd love to see more than one Hope House one day, or a connection to Hope House. Maybe it's a different kind of home, but
Right. Well, that's the thing I said in the beginning. Is it is the only one in our Hope House. I haven't even spoke to this. Is it has places for 5 women and their children. So obviously there's more than 5 women and their children that need a program like this. And there's some great organizations in our community. They're doing great work with women, but not the same as Hope House. Right. Like I said about Progress House is a recovery home, which is wonderful, but which we're not. Right. But that's not the same. Right. And Mother Teresa's is wonderful, and we get a lot of referrals from Mother Teresa's, but that's women getting ready to have a baby. Yeah. There's a couple other short-term houses, but nothing long-term like we have. So yes, we need another one.
Well, yeah, and so we need to conclude with this. You got to tell some stories.
Okay.
Just tell some stories, because there is heartache. It's tough. It's difficult. It's messy, but it's amazing the success rate. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it's amazing to see how many women do so well through this program.
I think Ken, also, they have never been told that they matter.
Wow.
And that's what
Wow.
breaks my heart more than anything. You know, having raised a daughter with my husband and myself, and having told her we love her and invest in her and all that we can do to make her life, make her know she matters.
Right.
These women have not had that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that is the biggest testimony for Hope House, and that's why it's successful, is for the first time in their lives, someone is saying, you know, I love you, and you can do this, and we're cheering you on, and you're going to fall, but that's okay. We'll be there to help you up. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's probably, that is the most important thing.
It is. It really is. It's all about love, I think, and grace, and yeah, so that's really important. So, but as far as the story, you know, something that I think is really, that we've seen at Hope House, which is wonderful, is that we've helped women, and as you said, leave the program and thriving on their own. And you'd think after living in a house with a bunch of women and children, when you leave, you're like, okay, I'm done with this. Thank you for helping me, but I'm
Right.
done with this.
Right.
But we find over and over again that they want to come back and help those that are coming up like they did. And there's no one that can speak into those new moms' lives more than a Hope House graduate.
Yeah.
So we have someone right now who has graduated and is got a great job. She's got promoted a couple of times, and she is coming back and helping the moms that are there. So.
Well, in you know, hearing about women going back to school,
Right.
going back, you know, that whole thing is
Well,
just,
we help with that.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
just very, very powerful.
Right, right. And we had the opportunity this past week to be a part of a story where a lot of us from Hope House, not myself, but several of us were actually in court when a young woman, got custody of her child back.
Wow.
That she'd fought for. So I'd love to read her story.
Yeah,
Can I
yeah.
do that?
No,
Is that
please
okay?
do.
Okay. So this is a story that is just near and dear to my heart. She starts out saying, I am a 21-year-old mother blessed with a beautiful 2-year-old boy. I am a recovering addict with needle use of meth and heroin, but that is not all I am. After being accepted to the Hope House and being brought into the Green Valley Community Church community, my eyes and soul were open to the all that I could be. Within only weeks of being in the program, I got my driver's license for the first time, and more importantly, I was granted overnight visits with my son, who was in foster care because of my poor choices. Through the structure and guidance of the program, I was able to find a job, get a car, and continue with all the parenting and counseling appointments necessary to keep focused on me and my son. After proving myself at my job, I was promoted and put on full-time. I completed drug court and all the requirements necessary to get my son back full-time. I am now a strong, independent woman with a future and opportunities that I did not know I had. I look back and can't believe I was once so scared and dependent on others for happiness, and I only survived from day to day. Now I have received the tools I need to thrive and give a better life to my son. I will continue to be involved with Hope House, and I'm so grateful for their love, support, and sense of family they gave me. Love, the proud mommy of one cool kid.
Wow. Wow.
And that particular woman, several of us got to be in court last week with her as the judge stood up and saw all of us there to support her and said, your CPS case is officially closed, and you have your 2-year-old for the rest of his life.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
very cool.
That is.
It's an honor to be a part of a program like this.
Wow. So we have to wrap this up.
Okay.
Powerful. Somebody sitting out there, how can they learn more?
Okay.
How can they help more? How can they just learn how to support this?
Well, we have a great website called wearehopehouse.com. So go there. There's all kinds of ways to get involved. Obviously, funding comes from the community, so there's a way you can become a monthly partner. There's a great fundraiser coming up, our golf tournament. That would be great to get involved. We are always looking for volunteers. So check out the website or call me at the church, and I'd be happy to get them connected.
wearehopehouse.com.
Wearehopehouse.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Ginger.
You're welcome.
Great show.
Thank you.
Great story.
Thanks.
Thanks for being with us here on The Basics of Life. We will see you next time.